Hello lads and lasses and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a little bit of late transfer news and then we have the weekly polls to go through. So we'll start with the transfer news. Obviously not everyone's transfer windows are closed. England's one is. Lascelles has been linked to Saudi Arabia. That one's probably not going to happen though, because we need the centre backs desperately. We can't bring one in now, unless we bring in a free agent like Zenby or whatever his name is. That's just an example of a free agent. I'm not saying we should bring him in. It's an example. Hayden is off to Belgium to Standard Liège, I think, something like that. Anyway, he's off to get his game time pretty much. Fantastic news. He's wasted just here the under 23s or wherever he was with the reserves. Gonna go get some game time, and then he'll probably be shipped off permanently next season, because obviously it's just a loan this year. We have a couple youth level signings. I think it's like a right back and a winger or something. Lovely. Building on the youth, I think, is actually really good. Sets us up for the future, not just with like players coming through, but also financially, which is great. And then finally, Sven Botman, not transfer news, but Sven Botman has been training on the bike back at Benton Training Grounds. So, lovely stuff. We can get into the weekly poll, shall we? So the first weekly poll was a question about Jadon Sancho. Obviously, he's had the spat with Eric Ten Hag. Man U have backed Ten Hag. He could leave, whether it be a transfer or a loan. Either's possible, really. And I have seen a few people saying they would take him here to play on the right wing. Obviously, we don't have that right winger who can do a lot, Miggy, and we're not shifting anyone over there yet. So we're still playing Miggy, and if we're not going to play Gordon at right wing, who would we play at right wing? Someone like Sancho. I said no. I understand the reasoning for wanting to bring him in from fans. However, no, he's awful. Well, he's not awful, but he's not good. He's not good. He's awful in the sense of his attitude and his training. Because nearly every manager he's been under has said something about his how he goes about training and stuff. So that's not a player you want to be bringing in. Anyhow, might be able to fix that? Probably not. Sancho's still young. I think he's 25, 26. So not that young in terms of football, but in life still pretty young. But no, the 67.7% of people agreed that they would not want to bring him in, compared to the 32.3% saying they would. And then the other poll was who should be the starting left back. Now this is a very large conversation that's needed. Obviously, Dan Burn, I don't rate at left back. I don't think he's that good. Matt Targett hasn't looked up to scratch. Lewis Hall hasn't seen the pitch. So who would we want to start at left back? I gave the options of Burn, Targett, Hall and Trips. They're the most likely to start at left back. With the least amount of votes was actually Matt Targett. So people would prefer to see Trippier play at left back than Matt Targett, which is worrying if you are Matt Targett, because that is absolutely devastatingly awful news. Second last with 7% of the vote was Trips. Obviously, Burn got 11.6%, Hall got 79.1%. So a lot of people want to see Hall actually start at left back. So do I. I would like to see the left back, the out and out left back we've brought in, who is now with the first team England squad, actually play some Newcastle football. I don't rate Burn at left back. I think he's an okay centre back. He's from Blythe, which means nothing in terms of football. You can be from anywhere and not be good in the position. Left back, Foden has his number constantly. Any other winger that actually wants to target him can target him with speed, and he's done for. Make a run past him, and as long as you're somewhat fast, you're getting past Dan Burn. Matt Targett hasn't looked very sharp at left back. He looks like he hasn't played in years. Which, to be fair, he didn't play a lot last season, and probably not going to play a lot this season now. Botman might be back for the Brentford game. I still don't think he will. I think we'll save him for the AC game personally. But Target really isn't anyone's first choice anymore, except Eddie's for some reason. Lewis Hall, training with the England first team, but isn't fit enough for the Newcastle side, is a bit of an interesting one. I do think we should start him. I think he's 18, so he's still got a lot he can improve on. But the games we have seen him in for Chelsea, he has looked very, very, very good. So we can't not play him, in my opinion. He has to start soon. Now, he has to start now, pretty much. If you want the season to turn around, he needs to be starting sooner rather than later. Otherwise, we're going to lose massively this season. I knew we were going to drop off. I didn't think we were going to get Champions League again, but I didn't think we were going to drop off this much to where we are probably... We might be doing a West Ham, except we won't win a European Cup. Is possibly what's going to happen here with the amount of competitions we're in. We're not handling it well so far. We'll see how this month goes. We've got Brentford, who should be a win. I mean, I'll decide closer at the time. I've still got like a week and a half. We've got AC Milan in the Champions League. We've got Sheffield and Burnley in the league, which is something they're both winnable games. They should be wins. But you can't get excited for winning at Burnley and Sheffield. We can if we start playing the right starting 11, like Lewis Hall at left back and taking Miggy out and putting Murphy in there, or shifting Gordon across and putting Barnes on the left wing, or finding an actual number 6 who could be Sean Longstaff. Weirdly, very, very weirdly could be Sean Longstaff, which I think would be incredibly... That would be amazing. Sean Longstaff gets a start. He's a defensive midfielder. He can defend pretty well. It's his going forward that he's awful at, which would be solved if he played more of a defensive midfield role. Do I think he should be playing there? Not at all. I don't think he should be on a Newcastle pitch, if I'm going to be honest. He isn't that good. But I'm happy he's here. I'm happy he did with what he did last season. But he isn't that great. But so if he can come on and improve now, fantastic. If he can't, it's expected. I'm more than happy to be wrong on any of the things I say, as long as this team does well. It's not about trying hard anymore. We're not that team anymore. We need to win games. We need to win hard games as well, like Liverpool at home or like City away. They're the sort of games we need to start taking points from. Anyways, it's the start of the season still. We're only a couple of games in. We don't have that much to worry about. If you want to participate in these polls, go ahead and follow us on Twitter. It is one of the first links in the bunch of links that I have in the description. Lovely stuff. Go check that out. But yes, that is all for now. If there's any more news, of course, I think uploads are going to be less frequent. I will probably have an upload tomorrow about Champions League squad, because that got released today, or I might bring that out later today, who knows, probably tomorrow at this rate. But I will talk about that a little bit, possibly. Apart from that, not sure what else there is to talk about with transfer window being done and all, but I'm sure there will be something. I'll talk a bit about the England games when they're going on, whatnot, what have you, all that good stuff. Lovely. Great. So as I'll probably see you tomorrow. In a bit, pal.